Why do you want to be a bus driver?
I've always had a passion for driving, and I enjoy interacting with people. Being a bus driver gives me the opportunity to be on the road while also serving the community by helping people get to their destinations safely and efficiently. I find it rewarding to play a role in making public transportation reliable and accessible.
How do you handle stressful situations, such as dealing with difficult passengers?
In my experience, staying calm and patient is key. If a passenger is upset, I listen to their concerns without interrupting and try to find a solution. I also make sure to maintain a professional demeanor and avoid escalating the situation. If needed, I know when to involve my supervisor or security personnel to ensure safety for everyone.
How do you ensure the safety of passengers on the bus?
Safety is my top priority. I always follow traffic laws, keep a safe distance from other vehicles, and avoid distractions while driving. Before every shift, I conduct a pre-trip inspection of the bus to ensure it's in good working condition. Additionally, I make sure all passengers are seated and the bus is secure before starting the journey.
What do you do if the bus breaks down or an emergency occurs while driving?
If there's a breakdown or emergency, I first ensure the safety of the passengers by pulling over to a safe location. I would then assess the situation and follow company procedures. If necessary, I would immediately call for assistance and communicate with my supervisor to manage the situation efficiently. I always remain calm and keep the passengers informed.
How would you handle a situation where a passenger is not following the bus rules, such as standing while the bus is moving or using foul language?
I would calmly and respectfully remind the passenger of the rules. For example, I might say, "For your safety, please remain seated while the bus is in motion." If the passenger continues to misbehave, I would notify security or a supervisor. I understand that it's important to remain professional and maintain a safe environment for all passengers.
What experience do you have with driving large vehicles?
I have previous experience driving a truck, which involved maneuvering a large vehicle in various road conditions. Additionally, I completed a training course for driving commercial vehicles, where I learned the specifics of operating a bus, such as handling a larger turning radius, monitoring blind spots, and managing passenger safety.
How do you manage your time to stay on schedule?
I always make sure to arrive early to prepare for the day and conduct any necessary checks. Once on the road, I monitor traffic and weather conditions, adjusting my speed and route as needed to stay on schedule while still driving safely. If I encounter any delays, I communicate with dispatch and update passengers accordingly.
How do you handle adverse weather conditions, such as rain or snow?
When driving in adverse weather, I always reduce my speed and increase my following distance to maintain control of the vehicle. I stay alert and adjust my driving based on road conditions, ensuring that I prioritize safety over speed. I also make sure to follow any specific guidelines provided by the company regarding driving in inclement weather.
Describe a time when you had to go above and beyond for a passenger.
Once, I had a passenger who missed their stop and became upset. I noticed they were in a hurry, so I communicated with the passenger about the next available stop and offered to help them find an alternative way to their destination. I made sure they felt comfortable and reassured them I would help them get to where they needed to be.
How do you stay organized and ensure your bus is in good working condition?
I follow a routine checklist before and after each shift, ensuring that I inspect all essential systems, including brakes, lights, tires, and doors. I also keep the interior clean and make sure the emergency equipment is in place. If I find any issues, I report them to the maintenance team immediately.
What would you do if you were involved in an accident?
In the event of an accident, my first priority would be to check on the safety of the passengers. I would ensure they're okay, call emergency services if necessary, and stay at the scene. I would follow company protocol by notifying my supervisor, filing an accident report, and cooperating with law enforcement.
How do you ensure you stay alert and focused during long shifts?
I ensure I get plenty of rest before my shift and take regular breaks when allowed. I also make sure to stay hydrated and avoid distractions while driving. If I feel fatigued, I communicate with my supervisor to address the issue and ensure the safety of myself and the passengers.
How do you deal with routes that are unfamiliar to you?
If I'm assigned a new route, I take the time to review the map and familiarize myself with the roads, stops, and any potential challenges. If possible, I would also do a test run of the route before my shift. I always stay alert and focused, making sure to follow all signs and signals to avoid getting lost.
What makes you a good fit for this bus driver position?
I am a reliable, punctual, and safety-conscious individual with excellent customer service skills. I am comfortable working in all types of weather and traffic conditions, and I have a strong commitment to ensuring passengers' safety and comfort. My experience with driving large vehicles, coupled with my ability to stay calm under pressure, makes me well suited for this position.
How would you handle a situation where a passenger is being disruptive or unruly?
If a passenger is disruptive, I would first try to de-escalate the situation by speaking calmly and respectfully, asking them to stop the behavior. I would explain the impact their actions have on others, such as disrupting the ride for other passengers. If the behavior continues or escalates, I would notify my supervisor or security and ensure I follow company protocols for handling such situations.
What steps would you take if a passenger were injured on the bus?
If a passenger were injured, I would immediately ensure their safety by pulling the bus over to a safe location and calling emergency services. I would provide assistance by staying with the injured passenger until help arrives. If necessary, I would use any first aid knowledge I have to help stabilize the situation. I would also document the incident and report it to my supervisor.
How do you handle route changes or delays?
I understand that route changes or delays can happen due to unforeseen circumstances. If I experience a delay or change, I would make sure to communicate clearly with the passengers, informing them of the situation and providing updates on the new estimated arrival time. I stay flexible and ensure that I continue to prioritize passenger safety and comfort, even if the schedule is disrupted.
How would you manage your energy during long or late shifts?
Managing energy during long shifts is important. I make sure to get a good night's rest before my shift and take advantage of any breaks to stretch and refresh myself. Staying hydrated and having a healthy snack on hand helps me maintain my energy. If I start feeling tired, I focus on staying alert and, if necessary, communicate with my supervisor to ensure I'm in a position to continue driving safely.
What strategies do you use to keep passengers comfortable during your shift?
To keep passengers comfortable, I ensure that the bus is clean and well maintained. I also make sure the temperature is set appropriately for the weather conditions. I remain polite and approachable and always greet passengers with a smile. If anyone seems confused about the route or needs assistance, I'm happy to help.
How do you handle situations when the bus is crowded or passengers are standing?
I always try to ensure the bus is as safe as possible for all passengers, especially when it's crowded. I encourage passengers to sit down if possible and ensure the aisles remain clear. If there are too many standing passengers, I might inform dispatch of the situation so they can send a second bus or assist with crowd control. I maintain a calm, professional attitude in such situations.